Have you signed your Christmas cards yet? I don't feel like continuing the topic of couples in love, so I try to steer the conversation to a different direction. Senpai immediately comes to my aid as he decides to ramble on about the hassle of dealing with endless New Year's cards. In response, Mitsuki teases and prods him in a way that only friends could. Looking at how cheerfully and casually they are chatting, I realize that I myself have never talked to anyone with such ease. Is that what friendship looks like? It's even better than I'd imagined. My past now seems bleak and painted in pale, lifeless gray. Why hadn't I noticed before that I was living in such a dull world? In a way, Senpai and Mitsuki saved me twice. And even if I knew it was going to happen to us next, would I have changed a thing? You would shit your pants with the shark? Also a good reason to shit your pants. Valid. Today's lucky color, red. The lucky object, glasses. The lucky number, 3. Lying in my hospital bed, talking with the two of them, I discover new emotions, new feelings. Even new nuances to humans' behavior that I never knew could exist. Everything in my life begins to feel brand new, and it's all surprisingly pleasant. It comes naturally to me to hold faith that Mitsuki would never betray me. And Senpai, the stoic composure I'd prided myself with on for so long, shatters with bits the very moment Senpai so much as looks at me. Ah, ya glove. My face starts burning. My throat treacherously makes incoherent nonsense. My hands stop obeying me. I never know what to do with them. I think I know what your hands want to be doing. I've never experienced anything like it, and yet the storm of feeling seems more pleasant than burdensome. Warmth swirls in my chest at the thought of Senpai. Poor Senpai, he doesn't even get a name. Notice me, Senpai. Sorry. Well, time to go. He's about to get up, but pauses when he notices that Mitsuki remains standing by the window. Mitsuki? She doesn't move, even though they usually leave together. Senpai and I exchange curious glances. Meanwhile, Mitsuki winks conspiratorially at me. I'd like to have a chat with Fuyumi, in private. Senpai blinks his eyes a couple of times before a sly grin stretches across his handsome face. Girl talk. Exactly. Sometimes I feel like a third wheel to you two. You wouldn't get it anyway. How rude. Don't tempt your fate. What if you hear something you shouldn't? Senpai laughs. But instead of answering, he only waves goodbye and leaves the room. Mitsuki takes his usual bedside seat. She sits motionless for a few moments, her pale fists folded in her lap. Then she looks straight into my eyes. Are you going to confess to Senpai? I almost jump on the bed in shock. What is she talking about? Noticing the genuine confusion on my face, Mitsuki frowns discontentedly. It's as plain as day you've got a crush on him. What is she talking about? Me and Senpai? Blood rushes to my face. I probably flare up like a torch. Mitsuki shakes her head contentedly. I knew it. Don't suffer, admit it already. But how can I? Mitsuki lets out a heavy sigh. Listen to me carefully, Fuyumi. You like Senpai, and he without a doubt likes you. Why don't you two stop screwing around and admit it to each other? I don't know. Get it together, Fuyumi, otherwise your only chance will be gone before you know it. But I don't suit him. These glasses and me and him. I'm left completely dismayed. The former, collected Fuyumi has evaporated. Now in her place sits a ridiculous creature, red as a tomato and mumbling pathetic excuses under her breath. Mitsuki abruptly stands up and takes off my glasses. Senpai doesn't care about that kind of nonsense. If you don't like something, make an effort to change it. You must be strong, Posthumous. Indecisive and weak people are always left with nothing. Having said this strange phrase, she leaves. Did she take the glasses? I kinda need those. I'm completely dismayed. Like senpai? You didn't figure this out on your own? Listen, I get being emotionally repressed, but this is kind of ridiculous. Senpai likes me? A new wave of heat surges to my cheeks. The more I think it over, the more convinced I am that Mitsuki is right. There's no other explanation. I'm in love with Senpai. I'm head over heels for him. I decide to come clean on Christmas Eve. I'm pulsing with anxiety. I know the sooner I speak the truth out loud, the sooner the heaviness will go away. Today's lucky color, black. Lucky object, a daffodil. Lucky number, 0. Uh-oh. For the first time, Senpai and I are alone in the room. He's talking about his school life and the upcoming exams as usual. I'm sitting, clutching the edge of my blanket, my hands, unable to grasp the meaning of his words. I have to say something before I chicken out. So I'm not quite as good at history, but not as bad at Mitsuki as at math. Oh wait, that was a senpai. I thought that was her talking. So I'm not quite as good at history, but not as bad as Mitsuki at math. Senpai? What's the matter? You're making a weird face. He smiles, as he always does, in a friendly, teasing way. My heart jumps to my throat. He's so close, closer than ever before. Yet at the same time, he's so far away. Senpai, My heart is beating at a frantic pace. Another second and it's going to explode. I know what you want to say. I understand your feelings. If you really want this, I'll listen. Senpai becomes very serious. This isn't how I imagined a romantic confession. I like you. Would you go out with me? Senpai takes a deep breath, resolutely lowers his head in front of me in a half bow. Forgive me, I can't be with you. Oh, crushed. I feel like a knife has cut off my thoughts. All I can do is stare dumbly at Senpai and flap my eyelashes. I'm at a complete loss for what emotions I'm feeling. I'm sorry, I know it's hard for you. If you want, we'll never see each other again. What? No. I know it's selfish, but I personally hope that we could remain friends. Tears come to my eyes. I hurriedly put my glasses back on. Yeah, of course. You're right. I value our friendship very much, too. Thank you for listening to what I had to say. If you don't mind. Gently, like the most fragile treasure, squeezes my hand and puts something in it. Nice? My Christmas present to you. Sorry it's so lame. But this is your lucky... I'd love for it to bring you good luck too. I know you don't believe in all these vague things. But don't throw it away, okay? Senpai turns away. Merry Christmas, Fuyumi. He leaves, carefully closing the door behind him. I'm left sitting in an empty hospital room. There isn't a single rational thought left in my head, as if they are mourning my broken heart. What? How? Why? My body is paralyzed, just like back then in the alley. Even the tears have dried up. But the last time Senpai saved me, now I'm alone, and no one will come to my aid. What good are feelings if they bring me so much pain? Today's lucky color? Red. So, I wonder if Senpai has a really specific reason for not dating her. Like, I wonder if there's something going on in his life that's made it impossible for him to date. Or I wonder if he just isn't into her. I'm curious to know, but it's also, you know, one of those things that he may not ever disclose. Which is okay. The lucky object is a hair clip. The lucky number is 2. I managed to come to my senses only the day after Christmas. A failed confession now seems terribly stupid. Boy rejected me. Big deal. Why did I behave like my life had lost all meaning? There you go, back on the horse. Now I'm ashamed of my senseless and stupid behavior. Mitsuki, who came alone this time, is sitting on a chair with a detached look. We're both silent. Forgive me. For what? I didn't think Senpai would reject you. Mitsuki's more gloomy than ever. It's the first time I've seen her like this. It's not your fault. No, it is. I spurned you on. Somehow I was sure your feelings were mutual. I should have minded my own business. It's fine, you were right. It was for the best I got it all out. Even if I'd known he would reject me. And now? 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 Now what? Do I feel better? Am I more at peace than I was before when I'd confessed to him? Can I honestly say I'm happy with the way things turned out? No, never. I feel terrible. It's agony. I clenched the dice he'd given me tightly. Mitsuki understands everything from my expression. She lets out a heavy sigh. I don't know if this would make you feel better, but you're not alone in this. Wow, that's news to me. Is there someone you like? Yeah, there's a boy. He's in the class next to mine. His revelation is so shocking that I might even forget about the turmoil raging inside me. And he rejected you? You? I haven't confessed to him yet. Ironic considering how I've been pushing you recently. Why not? I can't seem to get the two voices separated as much as I would like. But I wanted to make their voices different than Senpai's, and so I just gave Senpai my voice. It's a little tricky, chat. I'm almost 100% sure he'd reject me. From all that it seems, he already has a girlfriend. I don't have a chance, not by any stretch. I genuinely feel sorry for Mitsuki. That's rough. It's always rough to fall for somebody who already has somebody. Besides, she and I are in the same boat. Caught in the same hopeless situations. I no longer look up at Mitsuki in admiration. Now I share her pain as an equal. I'd hoped to at least get your case would work out, if only I'd known. It's fine, what's done is done. We fall silent, but it's not an awkward silence that would make any onlookers pity us. We become good enough friends that we can both comfortably share quiet moments together. Maybe come visit me on vacation when you get out of the hospital? I nod happily. Soon I'm discharged. My stay at the hospital wasn't very long, but everything that happened makes it seem like years had passed. I mean, it seemed to be a pretty significant stay. You got to know Senpai enough to make a confession to him. Maybe like a month? It's so weird standing in my room, seeing my parents' faces. Thinking about having to go back to school after New Year's Eve, to people who will never be my friends. Everything looks differently. No, not like this. I've become a completely different person. And this person can't help but think about Senpai. Ooh, she's stuck on him. Bro, you gotta let go. He said no, so you must let go. Today's lucky color, green. The lucky object, dice. The lucky number, 3. New me doesn't waste time. At the first opportunity, invites Mitsuki to visit. For a while, we discuss holidays and New Year's Eve. But soon the conversation turns to the topic we both care about. I love the feeling of our cohesion. How's it going with you and Senpai? Mitsuki asked with seeming calmness, but I noticed her eyes narrowing slightly. I received a postcard from him. We texted each other a few times, and that's it. Looks like he's uncomfortable talking with me after all. Why is it going on like this? If only we went on a date, I bet he would change his mind. Perhaps. I mean, that's a bold statement saying this dude who shot you down would like you if you only went on a date with you. That's confidence, Chad. That's the kind of confidence I want to have in life. Love can't be forced, huh? Just like I couldn't bring myself to like Shamrock despite its popularity. Something in my words makes me and Mitsuki freeze. It seems we've got the same idea. Since we're discussing this, I'm the first to break the silence, as Mitsuki's hesitating for some reason. The gloomy expression still lingers on her face. You know about them, right, Mitsuki? Love spells? Yes, of course. Why don't we give it a try? What do we have to lose? I can't believe such a phrase has escaped my lips. Oh, this is a bad idea. Chat, even if magic existed that could make somebody love you, I think it would be highly immoral to use it. If not incredibly dangerous. Now, a spell that, like, found your one true love, like a locator spell, like a matchmaking spell. Red flag is crimson. Yep. Like a spell that found your one true love, like just like pick somebody out for you, popularity. Not popularity, but compatibility. That would be okay. Like, that would be valid. A spell that makes somebody love you? Nope, we don't like that. The former me wouldn't have left one stone standing of this idea. So crazy and unreliable. It's as if the moment Senpai gave me his lucky dice, I began to believe in subtle matters. Seriously, why not give it a try? We won't hurt anyone, and if it does work, so be it. Yeah, it might not work. I can't just sit around and do nothing. I need to blow off energy. We really don't lose anything. She runs her fingers across the surface of the table in an uncertain gesture. Then let the fate decide? Pull out the die given to me by Senpai. Even number? We try a spell. Odd, settle down and watch a new episode of 833. Deal? I'll go over to the table and roll the die. Am I expecting some certain result? Doubtful. My thoughts are confused, filled with doubt and nervousness. However, when the die stops, showing the number 3, I feel a giant wave of disappointment. Well, what does it say? In a quick motion, I lightly poke the die. 4 it seems. Fate allows us to take a risk. That kind of spell is okay, but hey, based on your preferences and info, this person could be compatible with you is okay. But no, making them forcibly love you is a whole nother level of nope. Exactly. I think I once read a story. I think it was a book. It might have been a RPG setting where love magic was like super illegal and love potions were like something that had to be smuggled in and were purchased only by the worst of the worst. It was like super, super taboo. I remember that, but I don't remember what it's from. If anybody happens to remember, let me know. Well then, let's see what we're going to do. The potions is how you get Lord Voldemort? Yep. Alone, I lack the resolve to do it. With Mitsuki, so calm and reliable, sky's the limit. I wonder if it was Harry Potter. Was it Harry Potter where love potions were considered like a super taboo item? And it was considered really dark and like a bad thing to be involved with? Huh. Remember? I don't remember either. I just remember it being an interesting element. We say goodbye to each other. I promised to look online for a spell, Mitsuki simply nods. Naturally, love spells are foolish and frivolous stuff. Just a way to distract myself and have a little fun. Senpai isn't going to fall in love with someone just like that, without a single reason. But you know it's canon that Voldemort was born from a witch giving a muggle a love potion? Ah. And yet... there's hope in my chest. And I clutch the dice until it hurts. Oh, girl, he ain't gonna get with you because you casting spells on him. That's not how this works. I spent the entire evening researching relevant articles on Shamrock. Many spells are immediately discarded as it's obvious they were composed for fun, not results. Some look more or less adequate. For some reason, I keep stumbling upon an article titled 3 Nights with the Dead Lover. Ooh-hoo-hoo. Sounds like the title of a ladies' novel, but something about this lover intrigues me. Who's the dead lover? What caused his death? Why 3 nights? It's a lesser-known spin-off of Five Nights at Freddy's. I give other, less popular sites a search as well. My thoughts keep returning to that mysterious dead lover, again and again. No matter how skeptical I am, I have to admit that I get the feeling it's a sign from above. Lucky color for today? Blue. The lucky object? A smartphone. The lucky number? 3. The next day comes. I wait for Mitsuki's arrival, burning with excitement. She even freezes for a second, caught off guard by my zeal. I'm sure we can do it. Look. I instantly find articles about dead lover on my smartphone. It's like he wants us to read about him himself. The ideal option. Mitsuki takes my phone. The dead lover is a character from a popular urban legend. The gist of the legend is simple. A handsome young man, madly in love with his girlfriend, died because of an accident. Instead of mourning her for her dead lover, the girl quickly found another. Since then, the dead lover has been punishing those whose love he finds wanting. And does his best to aid those who are beautifully faithful. Therefore, only people who are completely sure of their feelings seek his help. Mitsuki breaks away from reading for a second. Rather banal, don't you think? I feel a twinge of irritation as I hear her statement. Like any other urban legend, but that's not the point, Mitsuki. Read on. She snorts. Usually the dead lover helps lovers unseen. There's a way to request his patronage directly. And the object of your passion will definitely reciprocate. But first, you have to prove to the lover that your feelings are true. If he finds them wanting, he'll become angry, remembering his unfaithful girlfriend, and take revenge. Sounds scary. I don't understand what she's afraid of. Is love ever not sufficient? Then it isn't love, and there's no point in using magic or spells. In order for a girl to summon the lover, she has to, first, apply pink lipstick to her lips. Use the same lipstick to draw the silhouette of a man on the window pane. Take a photo of the target to be put under the spell, and paint over their face with the very same lipstick. Having done that, remain awake for 3 nights in a row, and pay close attention to the silhouette. If the lover responds, the silhouette begins to loom in the window, and the drawn figure gradually erases itself. All 3 nights, the lover tests the feelings of the person who summons him. In the case of success, the spell works as effectively as possible. The bewitched person will begin to love you more than anyone else in the entire world. They will no longer have desires for anyone else but you. It is possible to interrupt the ritual. To do this, spend one of your 3 nights in another room. Seeing this, the lover will realize that his services are no longer desired, and will take his leave. However, it is not advisable to interrupt his trials once they have begun. God knows the consequences for failure will be. Interesting, but I'm going to make it to the end, no matter how the lover tests me. If you stay awake for 3 nights, you're going to be seeing shit for sure. Stay awake for 3 nights? Are you serious, Fuyumi? You can sleep in the daytime. I don't think it's going to be a problem. So you want to summon the lover together. There weren't any rules against doing that. We'll paint it on the window in my room, wait at night, and sleep during the day. Piece of cake. The use of the spell involving the lover is one of the main reasons why I'm so entranced by it. There's no need to leave the house. Gather someone's hair or nails, steal or put an object down a doorstep. All it needs to be done is to sit in front of my window for 3 consecutive nights. A small price to pay for my beloved to reciprocate my feelings. Mitsuki seems hesitant. But how exactly will he test us? That detail is strangely absent. It doesn't matter. You aren't going to change your mind, are you? After hearing this, I realize the simple truth. I won't change my mind no matter what Mitsuki says. The story of the dead lover has captivated me. I'm going to do it no matter what, with or without a partner, and as soon as possible. Oops. Let's have a quick save. I didn't need a save then, I just accidentally right-clicked. Okay. It'll save us in case like the game crashes or something, I guess. Today's lucky color? Pink. The lucky object? Lipstick. The lucky number? 3. We've decided to commentate. We decided to comment with the ritual the following night. I wonder if that's a typo. Everything goes surprisingly smoothly. New Year's vacation has just begun and my parents are away at work again. I print a photo of senpai, store it on my phone, go to my parents' room, and pick up a tube of my mom's lipstick. She won't even notice that anything has changed. My parents never notice anything. My heart is pounding with anticipation. I can't believe that in just 3 days, senpai will be mine and mine alone. Probably a typo. Yeah, probably a typo. Also, welcome in, Trumpy Fox. Hope you're doing well today. I can't wait for tonight. Finally, Mitsuki arrives. We have dinner, go up to my room, and start preparing for the summoning of the dead lover. First, we apply the pink lipstick to our lips. It's the first time I've ever used makeup. Yet another new sensation that thrills me to the core. It makes the world blaze bright with color. Looking at my reflection in the mirror, I see a girl capable of making senpai's heart race. A little lipstick will do a lot for you. Leagues above that dumb, timid girl who sat mute in her hospital bed, incapable of stringing together more than 2 words at a time. Mitsuki doesn't seem any different at first glance, and it involuntarily gives me a feeling of superiority. The next step. I draw a head on the window pane, then shoulders, an illusion of a person approaching the window and looking in. Except my room is on the 2nd floor and doesn't have a balcony. It looks both creepy and funny. Mitsuki looks at my masterpiece with a slight sneer. I hope it'll be enough. I don't think ghosts are the type to be so picky about petty issues. We'll be testing our love, not our artistic abilities. I don't want to disappoint him. What if he takes offense and doesn't show? And the ghost is a dime a dozen. I shake my head disapprovingly and pull a picture of senpai from the nightstand. He stands against the wall of my hospital room with a glow of joy about him. A dazzling smile shines on his face. My heart brims with tenderness when I look at it. Alas, his enchanting smile has to be covered over with the glossy pink of the lipstick. Senpai's head turns into a amorphous pink splotch. There's something creepy about it, but I don't understand what exactly. Mitsuki, meanwhile, pulls out a picture of the boy she's going to put under a spell. Bursting with curiosity, I peer over her shoulder. Standing in the phone is a blue-eyed guy dressed in a plain sports uniform. Mitsuki had taken the picture of him while he was playing soccer. The boy's frown seems a little plain. He doesn't hold a candle to Senpai, but I don't want to upset Mitsuki. How did you two meet? Mitsuki turns to me, holding a picture to her chest. It becomes gloomy for a moment, but right after that, she smiles. He's my friend's older brother. Sometimes he and I cross paths when I go over to her house.
Aww.
I see. Mitsuki's love story turns out to be surprisingly trivial. I was expecting a long story about childhood friends or how he once saved Mitsuki from bullies. Something at least similar to Senpai and I. Oh, you can really feel her sense of superiority about this. Like, she thinks her love is the best love. She has no patience for Mitsuki's love at all. Mitsuki paints the boy's face with lipstick. The movement of her hands are quick and confident. Soon, very soon. Feeling a bout of antsy energy, I approach the window where the lover's silhouette is painted and stare out. You were gonna say, like, dang, right? A sickle of the waning moon adorns the cold, cloudless sky. It seems both near and far at the same time. My gaze dials back to the pink silhouette on the glass. He's just like the moon. The spirit of the dead young man that's neither truly here nor there. Far from this world and yet a part of it. Only those he chooses can meet him and have the chance to touch his ghostly apparition. It's exhilarating. I'm drowning in anticipation for the night to come. I guess I'm just crazy.
You're a little bit crazy.
But you know, I think love makes us all a little crazy sometimes. Not usually this crazy, but a little crazy. Mitsuki turns off the lights. We sit on the bed and stare at the window. You know, I kind of assumed they would have to do 2 silhouettes on the window, one for each of them. I didn't know they could share a silhouette. At first, I'm unable to discern anything in the dark of the room. Gradually, the furniture takes on a familiar shape, and the outline of the lover's head and shoulders show on the glass. I clutch the edge of my sweater in anticipation. Mitsuki breathes quietly behind me. We keep our eyes fixed ahead. An electric clock sits on the nightstand across from us. It reads 1:30 in the morning. My nerves are so bundled up, I feel completely alert. Mitsuki, on the other hand, occasionally rubs her eyes and yawns. So she doesn't take the spell seriously after all. Huh. What's the matter? No, nothing. Fuyumi? Yeah? Aren't you afraid? Of course I'm not afraid. I'm looking forward to the lover's arrival. I'm not, you? Mitsuki shivers. I don't trust dark forces, Fuyumi. There's too much evil in our world as is. Except it comes from people, not from the netherworld. What do you mean? We don't know what lurks inside us, what dark secrets our hearts hold. We don't know if we can overcome them. And yet we're trying to contact some evil outside of us in addition to managing what we already have inside of ourselves. Isn't that a little presumptuous? I don't understand. She doesn't even believe in the spell, so what's with all this pompous talk about evil? Or is what Mitsuki's saying just her being influenced by the gloomy atmosphere? I hope everything's going to be alright. Having doubts? I just have a bad feeling about this. Her fear and mistrust come in an unpleasant surprise. In the end, even though Mitsuki and I are bound together by the same misfortune, there's actually a chasm separating us. I fix my gaze on the rudimentary painting of the lover. As I admire him, I feel an irritation morph into joyful anticipation. Silence. We sit in complete silence. The only thing that breaks that silence is the sound of our breathing. 1:20. 2:30. 45. Where is he? I'm getting drowsy as well. My eyelids weigh heavy. I yawn so wide it stings my jaw. Mitsuki ruffles up a pillow in an attempt to stay awake. 3:33. Mitsuki and I hold each other. Oh, shit! You did bring a friend over, Rhoda. Also, you scared the ever-living shit out of me. Holy shit. Okay, hold on. I need to recover. Yeah, that one's loud. Okay. Appreciate your interaction, Boda. Poor Tromby's dead. You killed him. You killed poor Tromby. Anyway, where was I? Mitsuki and I are holding each other's hands firmly. I share in her trembling. He's there. The silhouette that I had drawn on the window fills with a black color. It's no longer simply the outline of a figure. It has a full-fledged being behind standing the window. His head bobs slightly from side to side, peering at the contents of the room. I'll stretch and hydrate, don't mind if I do. Crunchy today. The figure feels cold, and I expect him to bring the musty odor of the grave or rotting flesh with him. However, my nostrils are tickled by an airy, sweet scent. The contrast is so bizarre, it's repulsive. This isn't a joke, right? No mere mortal could come up to my window. My room is on the second floor. And we certainly aren't imagining it. There's no way we could be. The drawing has indeed become a person, or a dream? Quite possible. But when did reality end and the dream begin? Everything is just as it was while we were awake. I feel Mitsuki's warmth next to me. My legs feel a little stiff. A yawn is lodged in the back of my throat. Struggling, I look away from the black figure. The room hasn't changed one bit. The clock blinks in time, displaying its bright, light-colored numbers. Every piece of furniture is clearly visible in the darkness. I can even count the number of textbooks on the desk. A dream couldn't be this vivid. I'm not dreaming. The dead lover is real. I clutch Mitsuki's hand more tightly. Well, here comes the test, girls. Hope you're ready. It's him, right? It's definitely him. Yes. Mitsuki's voice is quiet and tense. He really came. He came to us. But what now? I don't know. The lover will test our feelings, but how? I haven't thought about that. Oh, well, nice of you to try to gift us up, Boda. Appreciate that. Maybe he'll ask us tricky questions? And we better choose our answers carefully. There's a sharp smack on the glass. Mitsuki and I jerk backward in horror, our backs pressed against the wall. The black silhouette doesn't move. A hail of blows rains down on the glass. What does he want? Mitsuki is angry. She quickly gets off to the bed and on the floor. She's about to head for the window, but suddenly the pounding stops. Mitsuki freezes. I carefully approach her. So what now? She shakes her head, uncertain. The dead lover isn't moving, but he doesn't stand still either. He seems to turn his head, first toward Mitsuki, then towards me. Is he studying us? Testing? If this is the test, Mitsuki was worried for nothing. It's silly, not scary in the least. I decide to say something, but at the same time another blow comes. The black figure still isn't moving. Fix my gaze on it, and don't immediately notice two curled hands crawling across the glass on either side of the window. Their knotted fingers move silently, as if warming up for a game of rock, paper, scissors. What does this mean? No idea. The hands freeze for a moment, where they scrape their index fingers across the glass. Does it want to come in? It definitely wants to come in. Why don't you let it in? No way. The mysterious creature ignores Mitsuki's objection, instead pressing both of their palms firmly against the window. Then they push so hard that the window begins to rattle and vibrate. Having failed to achieve the desired result, the hands relax before poking at the glass again with their index fingers. Around an entire minute passes and nothing changes. The hands fail to enter my room. Only now are we able to breathe again. He shall not pass. Mitsuki stammers as she sees the curled fingers hit the glass with their nails again. After which, they pass through as if the window had been a mere illusion. Ow! We back away from the door, but freeze when we realize the hands aren't trying to sneak into the depths of the room. They hover in the air, resembling an unnerving art exhibit, and freeze just as the dead lover remains frozen. The sweet aroma becomes noticeably stronger. Hands twitch, coming to life, and synchronously draw a curved line in the air with their fingers. An arc scrawls across the glass, from top to bottom next to the black silhouette. No touchy? Oh, he gonna touchy. The hands keep moving, and another line emerges, and another. How? It's impossible for me to take my eyes off the eerie spectacle, which seems so reminiscent of a well-practiced dance. He's writing something. Mitsuki takes a step back. Writing to us. Yeah. The line forms a word. It has to be read backwards, like a message on the looking glass. Go. The dead lover orders us. Go where? I look around and then the door to my room opens slightly. Another hand obligingly clutches the doorknob, peering out from behind the wall. Looks like a cheap horror movie. There are nervous notes in her voice. Let's go. Unlike Mitsuki, I'm brimming with impatience. They're both very bold for being accosted by a ghost. I suppose they did summon him. He's calling us. I pull Mitsuki out of the room. Of course, the black silhouette, the creepy hands, and the opening door scare the crap out of me, but I'm not going to stop. My curiosity is stronger than my fear. What else will I see today? What new feelings will I discover? It doesn't matter if they're positive or negative. I want to feel them all. We leave the room. The hand vanishes. Damn, I wanted to know what its owner looked like so badly. The hallway is dark and silent, and the dust in the air seems to be frozen in place. At the darkest corners are obsidian clots that coil and entwine like slithering serpents. He was banging on the window so hard he could have woken up the entire neighborhood. Why is nobody awake? We're the only ones who can hear him? What's wrong? Would they hear us if we called for help? Call for help? Why? The lover only punishes those whose feelings aren't strong enough. What does that have to do with us? Everything is going to be all right. Sometimes I don't understand where your confidence comes from, Fuyumi. Her statement sounds like it wasn't fully finished. Where does it come from? Bravery? Foolishness? Is that what Mitsuki means to say? Irritation surges through me once again. Come on. Made me jump a little bit too. Sound is so sudden, Mitsuki and I flinch and almost trip. We nearly fall back into the room while Mitsuki leans against the wall. What? A message. With trembling hand, I pull my phone out of my pocket. An icon glows on the screen, notifying me of an unread message.
Huh?
At this hour? Who? Senpai? No, the number is hidden. I show Mitsuki the phone. The screen light illuminates her tense face. Don't stall. I press the button and the message opens. Are you brave enough? What? Maybe he'll demand an ordinary test of courage. We're not in kindergarten. Our feelings are worthless if some hands and knocking on the window is enough to scare us away. Come on. We stop in front of the stairs leading to the ground floor, as the silence is cut again through a melody. I impatiently open the message. Once you step on the staircase, you will regret it dearly. I don't get it. Is he warning us? I think he wants us to find another way. I ponder it. No. No? He wants us to go forward knowing we'll regret it. A test of courage, right? I nod and look at the steps. They are drowned in darkness and seem as unreliable as fog. They feel frosty. With this smell. I doubt my mom baked vanilla pies, so where does it come from? I regret it. Mitsuki whispers something under her breath. Here. The fate decide again. Squat down and gently release the die from my hand. It takes a few somersaults and stops, showing 4 dots on the top edge. I squeeze Mitsuki's hand with vigor. See? We shouldn't back down. Better not to disappoint the lover. At this point, I already realize there are no coincidences. Just like the celestial luminaries moving in precise trajectories, our actions are predetermined. Okay. Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. We step on the staircase. Stay in thoughtful silence. Nothing is happening. A sigh of relief escapes my chest. Huh? Before I know it, I'm falling somewhere down. A scream is stuck in my throat. My ears are filled with the cackle of breaking boards. I vaguely wave my hand trying to grab onto something, but in vain. My other hand continues to squeeze Mitsuki's palm. Heck. Air rushes out of my chest with a barely audible groan. A pulse of pain runs up my spine. For a moment I don't understand who or where I am. I think she fell down the stairs, chat. I like to imagine the lover ghost just waiting for them to get on the stairs and then running up behind him and just push. Like, he doesn't have any spooky stuff or anything, he just shoves them. My body refuses to listen. My arms and legs resemble parts of a wooden marionette. The staircase collapsed? How? A lover's trap? I need to come to my senses. I slowly clench and unclench my fist. It's okay. Much better than the day I slipped. Ooh. I sit up with difficulty. My back aches mercilessly, echoing waves of pain in my nape. Something hot is running down my neck. Blood? Mitsuki? She lies beside me, still clutching my hand. She isn't moving, only writhing in pain. Mitsuki! I help her up. Are you okay? My hand, damn, it hurts so bad. Mitsuki's face contorts in a grimace. She presses the right hand to her chest, and clenches her teeth. A drop of sweat rolls down her temple. There's a femboy ASMR falling down the stairs. That sounds about right, yeah. I love the goof ASMRs. Those are fun. Boyfriend tells you he loves you while he falls downstairs. Boyfriend tells you he loves you and then gets in an immediate car accident. Boyfriend tells you he loves you through a mouthful of chicken. Stuff like that. Those are always good. Looks like she twisted her wrist in the fall. I check my nape. My hand feels something warm and sticky. I shake it off in disgust. Black drops fall to the floor. The floor? Wait, what? Mitsuki and I are sitting on the floor in front of the stairs, as if nothing happened. But we fell somewhere. We fell right onto broken planks. Run my hands around me, nothing. The usual floor. He's playing us. Are we in some other reality? Or are we simply victims of a plausible illusion? Pain is no different from the real thing. But I can't explain our return to the first floor as anything other than a trick of my mind. In any case, we have no choice but to continue the trial. What does he want this time? Keep going. But remember, once you step on the staircase, you will dearly regret it. I stare at the stairs in horror. Mitsuki snorts sarcastically. Are we brave enough to repeat the fall? I stare at Mitsuki's mangled hand. We got lucky last time. With less unfortunate fall, we risked breaking our necks. What? What the hell? I tucked my phone into my pocket and turned to Mitsuki. Ready? Mitsuki covers her ears for a few seconds. I can see that she's in a lot of pain and scared. She was hurt more than me, after all. Ready. I glare at the stairs. Sweat beads on my forehead. One step and we're flying down again. Is there a window to go out of? I don't think that's any safer. Also, you have to do what the ghost says, otherwise you don't pass the test. There was no point in summoning him if you don't pass the test. We can break our legs, arms, necks, fall head first on a sharp nail. Or has the lovers prepared something new for round 2? One step forward. Don't think about anything. I exchange looks with Mitsuki and step onto the stairs. Mitsuki follows immediately. This time, we don't hold hands. Aww. It says not to go down the stairs, but it didn't say anything about going another way. I think what we're implying here is that he's telling them they're going to suffer if they go on the stairs, but that they have to go on the stairs because that's the test. He's like warning him off. You're like, don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it. You're not ready for this. And they do it anyway, because they're dumb. Nothing. We aren't falling. The step remains a regular step. The lover tricked us. Only now I notice my heart pounding in my chest like crazy. Beating is overriding the pain in my nape and back. That's all? I don't know. However, we have no choice but to move forward. Nothing. He's mocking us. It's so scary I feel nauseous. My chest feels like it's covered in ice. And yet, we step down again. Nothing. The torment begins anew. We expect a trap on every turn. Every time we take another step, we prepare to fall down. But nothing happens. My bangs are sticking together with sweat. I wipe my forehead with my sleeve. My throat is dry. We walk and walk. And at last, we walk down the last step. Mitsuki nearly falls to the floor. I can hardly stand on my own 2 feet myself. Descending the regular staircase proves scarier than the proverbial fall. Feels like I'm going down took us hours. The lover wanted to wear us out. He's doing a fine job.
Is that all? Have we passed? I don't know. Oh no.
I pull out my phone and read another message. Kitchen.
Well, we have to go. The trial isn't over. Come on. You seem to be enjoying this. What makes you say that? You're smiling. I do?
I didn't even notice. I'm still nauseous from the anxiety. My nape is aching like hell, but am I really enjoying this? I'm not sure. I'm too anxious to accurately characterize my condition. There's no one in the kitchen. I shake my head, not sure what to do next. And then black flashes glimmer before my eyes. It's like a flock of agitated bats has rushed me. A couple of times I feel weightlessness touch on my cheek. It doesn't hurt. It's as if someone's fingers are studying my face, trying to penetrate deep into my mind and read hidden thoughts, slow tactile contact. The strange vision lasts mere seconds. The world freezes again. The black flashes dissolve like a haze, revealing a different, more terrifying sight. Okay, Chet, it is in fact ads time. So for those of you heading off to ads, the game will be paused, and you will not miss anything. And we will see you in just 3 minutes, alright? See you in 3. For those of you who are still here,